Cyril on the platform. You are highly welcome to Cross Views today.
Thanks, Mr. Moderator. Mambo Williams is another fresh Monday here at the city of legendary hospitality, Boya, is definitely waxing, doing well. It's been a hot afternoon. We have not recorded rainfall here for like 2 days, and those are the wonderful deeds of nature. At a time when the first vice president of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, in the person of Muhammad Mutad, answered to his last court session last Friday, he told the Fundi magistrates that actually in a lawless country, one does not complain about injustice, because he has been convicted. Since he was convicted for a crime he did not committed with the uprisings that took place some time ago at the maximum security prison in Yaoundé, he was illegally convicted, and since then he has been answering charges that is going to last for about 2 years, according to the sentence that was ruled. But equally, Professor Maurice Kamto is still unjustly kept under house arrest, and we now have information and from very sure sources that they have put a surveillance camera around his building, and that everything that is happening in his compound is now monitored with a computer. And we are talking at a time when the UN is celebrating the month of non-violence, and when Gandhi, the ultimate singer of non-violence, when he was championing the cause at the time, he didn't mention of the fact that non-violence is not only physical torture but equally psychological trauma. And so what the Cameroon Renaissance movement is doing, what the Cameroon Renaissance movement, October the 7th champion, is currently suffering from is another psychosocial trauma, him and plus his family. Mr. Moderator, I will be doing injustice if I fail to seize this unique opportunity you have given me and the CMTV house to extend a farewell wishes to close to 600 Cameroonians that are currently being detained in various detention centers nationwide following the September the 22nd national peaceful protest that the Cameroon Renaissance movement and other political parties in Cameroon organized. Just to say that the FACO divisional secretary for the Cameroon Renaissance movement has launched a mobilization call to all the sympathizers within the region, the Southwest, to put forth some money that we are going to send to support our political friends that are detained unjustly. Permit me round up by saying that the regional election, FACO, is at the peak of the tears. A lot of political pundits have taken the party to court, decrying the maneuvers of political elites of FACO, and this only comfort us in our position that we saw earlier and decided to boycott. I will land by extending my hand to my co-panelists on the platform, Mr. The jurist Armstrong item, but equally to you, moderator, for making me part of today's edition.
Thank you so very much. I assure the viewers that in subsequent program we shall surely discuss on that in-house, let me call it in-house misunderstanding with what is ongoing in FACO and Southwest as a whole as far as the regional elections are concerned. At this time, I want to welcome Mr. Item Armstrong. You're highly welcome to Cross Views today.
Thank you, the learned moderator, Mr. Mambo, for the opportunity given to me once more to be on a panel with the learned colleague of the CRM, Mr. Cyril. I think it is a privilege to be with you once more. I want to say that I think the nation is moving ahead And if you look keenly, the regional councillors are mobilizing to give a fair face to the democracy that is in Cameroon, and to LECAM is also putting their hands on deck to ensure that there will be transparency and fairness in the way elections will be conducted. And I know they are always vibrant to move to every area, irrespective of insecurity and irrespective of the threats that they face in the course of their duty. I want to also say that the pre-electoral disputes are in court, like my panelist mentioned, and the FACO and Akwaya subdivision and many other constituencies are putting their hands on deck that there is fraud and many irregularities, especially when it comes to the issue of electoral malpractices. And I want to also, in this lane, bring to your notice that the 24th December 2019 code governing local authorities have been projected to the society for people to know that the issue of decentralization that the government is talking about to foster is a reality. And I think in that code, Article Section 2, Section 2, Sub 2, makes it clear that all local authorities are going to have equal status, and no other have the right to infringe into the operation of any other local collectivity. It means that, for example, in FACO, the Boya Council is going to have an independent way of managing their local resources, and they will still have a little support from the government to see how to foster their development. So there is a lot in that law, and I will urge Cameroonians of goodwill to move into that code to have a mastery of how the issue of decentralization is going to be.
Is that to say the Grand National Dialogue, Cameroonians just need to tally a bit and they'll see that things come to pass?
I think Manawoda Malachi has also brought to the notice of Cameroonians that there is 95% free of COVID-19 in Cameroon. This is to show that Cameroon was relentless in the fight, and they have done a lot to make sure that they hit COVID-19 on its face. Even though we lost a few of our martyrs who went off of the surface of the earth because of these dangerous diseases. But I want to give special thanks to the Cameroon government for have been very vibrant to make sure that most of us are still alive and vibrant to talk on issues of national unity.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Dear viewers, at this time we shall be taking the first topic of the day, whereby we shall be discussing on the government that has decided to go the Ekema way. That is, the government has decided to grant 25 taxis to give to the Kumba City Council to fight Ghost Town in Kumba. And we know so very well that as far as Ghost Town is concerned, it has not been easy in Kumba these days. And so 25,000 taxis to fight Ghost Town in Kumba and some other support. I don't know, getting this, let me start with you, Mr. Njomo Siri. What's your take about such an information? I believe it's something to hail the government for that.
Truly, if we're in a normal country, I think I will stand up and clap for the government. Just that in a banana republic, we should instead learn from the history. When you rightly title the Ekema Way, it takes us back sometime around January 2019, when the then mayor of Boya, the late Ekema Patrick Esunge, of blessed memory, decided that he was to be giving 10 liters fuel to every taxi driver that plied the main routes on the regular Monday Ghost Town. At the time, so many taxi drivers defied that rule, and he went further to make provision to give free space for parking at the Boya Council. And they still did not respond favorably. Personally, he and with a number of friends, they bought some taxi and put on the right way on faithful Mondays, and those few taxis gradually get the momentum for others to follow. But up to today, it is hunger that most of the time chase people from their home. To say that the spirit of ghost town has totally died in the mind of taxi driver will be foul play. Once I've established that historical background, I want to take us to what is happening to Kumba, to say it's another try with another leader, and all I wish for him is success, even though from a very serious and objective perspective, I would have loved that the energy he is putting into buying 25 taxis in a very big city like Kumba should rather be deployed to sensitize, public sensitization, especially to the dictatorial regime headed by Mr. Biya illegally, so that they can finally resolve, and this time around in a peaceful way, the Anglophone crisis.
Okay, yeah, I'll be coming back to you. Let me come to you, Mr. Item Armstrong. Looking at it, the government trying to fight ghost town in the city of Kumba and other towns, because not long ago we heard of the Northwest region where buses were promised to be put on the road. Do you see such a promise come to pass?
I think the government, in its right senses, will always struggle to bring normalcy, irrespective of how difficult it might be to bring normalcy. It's just that the manner in which they might go about their strategy might not be the best, but after everything, I think peace is what Cameroonians need, and is what we cannot, any ordinary Cameroonians cannot pretend before you. So the issue of ghost town remains, irrespective of the fact that there have been a lot of an enormous strategy put down by the government, like you mentioned here, the issue of buying taxis and fueling of taxis, and struggling to deploy security at all areas to ensure that people go out without fear. The issue of ghost town persists. The worry that breaks people's mind is, should the government adopt another strategy? I think I will go in for that.